but that's how the law reads. You can go online and pull it, it's like 32 pages. So you can pull that up.
So the Mortgage Debt Relief Act expires December 2013, correct?
Yeah, December 31st, 2013, means you have to have it closed by that date. So right now, if you got somebody on a fence on listing, listen, you better get it going because we have to list it, we have to get an offer, we then have to get a short sale approved, and we have to close on it. If we don't have it done by that time and they don't extend that again, you're looking at a $15,000 IRS bill. Can you afford that?
Okay.
Yes,
How many times has they extended that?
one time.
Wasn't that in effect when Bush was in?
Yeah, but it expired December of 2012. He had it for like 12 years or some long number.
Reenacted when Obama came in? Or,
No, Obama extended it, that's all he was, because it expired December 2012.
From
Obama
Bush?
extended it
Right.
from Bush, and Obama extended it, yes.
Okay, now, have a bank ever went after someone who walked away from their home?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that one, and you're gonna see more and more of that.
Really?
Okay. Any questions on deficiencies? Okay. Our goal is to get the bank to waive the deficiency completely out of it. If we can't get them to waive it, we're gonna try to beat them down on what they want as a payback. The bank may say, sorry, we're not gonna relieve Rick of $50,000. However, our team then will try to negotiate that 50 down to 15, 20% and put on what they call a promissory note. A promissory note is an IOU, usually at 0% interest, spread over 5, 10, or 15 years. And it's exactly what it is, promissory note, which means, all right, the bank will approve the short sale, approve the mortgage release, but they want me to pay back 20%, $10,000 over the next 5 years at $80 a month. That's a promissory note. If they sign a promissory note, that promissory note does not go on their credit report. So it does not show up as debt on down the road. Any questions on that?
Yeah, if somebody has a deficiency judgment on a short sale, is that something that they can, if they file bankruptcy, that they can include in the bankruptcy?
Good point. We're going to get into that, how to get out of your mortgage. Good point, John, and we'll bring that up here. And, well, here it is, next section. Okay. Any questions on deficiency? 1099s? Yes.
might be getting ahead of it, but like you said, I'm representing the seller, so are you. They come back and they say, okay, we have a deficiency, they don't want to waive it. Okay, how about a promissory note at 10 and 50%? The homeowner goes, no, I'm not interested.
Okay. That's great. That happens all the time. All the time. Sometimes that happens at listing before you got here. We talked about that where I'm not going to list with you on a short sale unless you guarantee me that there is no deficiency. Okay, then if that happens, refer them to us. 99% of the time I can convince them to go ahead with it. Because what is the homeowner's option? Okay, I understand you, Mr. Homeowner. I fully understand you. So if you're not going to short sale it, what are you going to do?
My point was back to it, like you said with the investors, no, I'm not interested.
Right.
You don't accept the short sale, you're getting a deal, you gonna foreclose on me? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, and the banks do not care. There's no emotion in these deals. It's all what is dictated from the ultimate investor. Now, in that scenario, you'll get a homeowner that says, you know what, there's a deficiency judgment if it goes to foreclosure, or they're going to say, I'll just let it go back to the bank, and here comes your question. The only way to get out of your mortgage is three things. Do a short sale, file bankruptcy, and here's important, you need to know these two things. There's two types of bankruptcies. There's a Chapter 7 and there's a Chapter 13. A Chapter 7 is what you ultimately want to go for, and that's, I'm done, I don't owe you anything. The big misconception, if you have a homeowner that files Chapter 7 and it's completed, I own this house. No, you don't. That mortgage or lien is still on the property. It's just not on that homeowner anymore. Which means if I owed them $100,000 and I filed bankruptcy and I was able to get a Chapter 7, they can't ever come after me, but that mortgage is still on the house. Then the bank starts the foreclosure process to evict them. The other one, and by the way, to file for Chapter 7, you must qualify for Chapter 7. How do you qualify? Well, there's Chapter 7, there's Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is a restructure of your debt. That's where the trustee at the courts will set up a repayment plan for all your creditors, and they will take up to 50% of that person's take-home pay, comes right out of their check, goes right to the trustee, and the trustee distributes the debt. In order to qualify for Chapter 7, you pretty much got to have no income. If somebody has a steady income or a steady paycheck, they're probably not going to qualify for Chapter 7, which puts them into a Chapter 13. Chapter 13, they take 50% of your net income. Now here's how crazy it gets. Okay, I filed bankruptcy, they went to a 7, I owe this person this credit card company this, and a house mortgage this, so on and so forth. Chapter 13s are set up for 3, 5, or 7 years. They take 50% of that person's net income. Now, let's say your car breaks down. You find one of these buy here, pay here's, or a dealer gets you financed. Guess what? Anything more than $1,000 in debt, you have to get it approved by the trustee. So your car breaks down, you get approved, and you have to go in front of the trustee, and they have to sign off to allow you to go into debt. And guess what that trustee can say? Nope. Or the trustee can say, wait a minute, how did you qualify for that? Are you making more money? Let's revisit your Chapter 13. Or the other way, so that's 2 ways so far how to get out of a mortgage. Short sale it, file bankruptcy, hopefully you qualify for a 7.
Or die.
Yeah, well, there's 4 ways, or die. Or when it goes to sheriff's sale, here's where you got to understand. When it goes to sheriff's sale, if they do a full credit bid on the home, they will not have any deficiency. What does that mean? I owe $100,000. The bank has 2 ways to bid on this when it goes to sheriff. So the bank actually has to bid on your house and gives it to the sheriff or county courthouse, and they, like I said earlier, they hold an auction. And they basically say property tax ID number 000, blah, 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 blah. Our opening bid is what the bank gave them in writing. Opening bid is $102,000. Anybody else here want to bid any higher? No, sold, $102,000. That is considered a full credit bid. If they bid what the homeowner owes or more, that is a full credit bid. That is how the majority of foreclosures happened over the last multiple years. Things are starting to change. Here's why. When the bank foreclosed, gave a full credit bid in the great real estate days when the economy was booming, the bank would hire a real estate agent, list it, sell it, make a little bit, sell it, lose a little bit. They really didn't care. Then the market crashed. Then they were continuing to be the highest bidder at what the homeowner owes. Then they tried to take the homeowner to court and sue them for the difference. Well, the judge says, wait a minute, it was an open auction, correct? Yes. Why did you bid so high, bank? You're the expert. And the banks are saying, what? So the judge says, if you did a full credit bid, if you bid it too high, shame on you, you can't come after the homeowner. Everybody understand that?
Did they start the bid at what is owed on the property?
Not necessarily, it depends. The opening bid is 99% of the time is the first lender. They will say, they'll send it to the courthouse and say the opening bid is 100, like my example. If I owe roughly 100 with late fees and penalties, I may owe 102. They may say opening bid's 102. I call that the old way of foreclosing. Still happens 50% of the time. The new way is the bank bids it to fair market value. They bid it to fair market value. My example, I owed 100 with late fees and everything's 102, and it's worth 50,000. Let's just say the bank screwed up and bid it to 40,000. Now they can come after me for the difference. So crucial that if it goes to sheriff's sale, we need to know what it went to sheriff's sale for.
And that's called an underbid, correct?
Correct. That's called an underbid. Everybody understand that?
So the banks want to underbid? So
They
can
want to
come back?
underbid so they can come back after the homeowner. So you're going to see more and more of the foreclosures starting to go that way. Now, here's a little loophole for your seller. Yes?
On the underbid, since we're on that, your numbers,